Hello everybody, I accidentally gave you the wrong screen to start. Sorry about that. Welcome back. I know we had a little bit of an unintended hiatus there due to my internet being a butt. But I have it sort of fixed now. Basically, I just put I got new equipment and the new equipment sucked. So I put the old equipment back in and now it works. So yeah, welcome back to my channel. Yay! As you probably saw from the title, today we are going to be taking a look at the new Erin Condren. By looking at the covers, since they have a lot of interchangeable covers, you probably can't tell, but what we're going to be looking at is their new family organization book. Woo! That comes out, I believe it is on the 26th. If you remember from when I did my unboxing of the academic or the back-to-school collection from Erin Condren, I mentioned that there was one thing they sent me that I was not allowed to share yet. And this is it. And literally, when I was just figuring out what I wanted to do for today's stream, because I'm really bad at deciding ahead of time, I literally, while I was trying to figure it out, got the email that I was allowed to talk about it starting today. So I'm like, yay, easy decision made. That's what we're talking about today. We have Coco, who she's been very affectionate lately. I'm not complaining, but at the same time, this is not a very good time. She's probably a little annoyed because I have been in the bathroom dyeing my hair a good deal of the day. It is still a work in progress. That's okay. But she hasn't seen a lot of me today. Usually I'm not like at my desk and I can at least give her a little bit of attention. Real quick, before we get started, as always, I do want to give a shout out to people that are here live. So far in the chat, we have Ackman, Abigail, and Yvonne. Thank you for being here live. If anybody else is here live, feel free to let me know in the chat so I can give you a shout out. And thank you to anybody who is here for the replay crew. I love you. I love everybody, but I just want to make sure that the replay crew feels the love too, because I know I get to talk to a lot of people live and not so much the replay crew. So let us go ahead and jump in to here. So as I said, this was sent to me very kindly by Erin Condren. Thank you so much. Gifted to me. I am an Erin Condren affiliate, and I did double check as I was talking just now. The family organization book, organizer book. Sorry. Organizer, organization, you know, it's hard to keep them straight sometimes. Anyway, did double check, it will be released on July 26th. Typically when Erin Condren does the releases, stuff ends up being available at 9 p.m. Pacific the night before. I don't know if that will be true here. I also want to just mention that my fingers, there's nothing wrong with me, I just decided I didn't want to wear gloves while I was doing my hair. Because I'm crazy like that, I don't know. Anyway. Hello, Coco. As you can see from the bits that Coco is not covering, this family organization book does have the interchangeable covers that a lot of the Erin Condren books have, and they sent me a 7x9. I do not have any information on if it will also be available in A5. All I have really is what they've sent me. So maybe there's something in my emails that I forgot about, but I forgot about it, so I can't share it with you. So what we have is here, and we're just going to go through it like we do with a lot of these books, just kind of page by page. Feel free, if you are here live, to make comments, ask questions, all that good stuff during the live, and let us get started. So one thing I want to point out, I always say this when I start out. Okay, so we have the vellum page. I really wish there was a design on the vellum, like even if it was Erin Condren's, like, you know, mid-century circles or an asterisk. I know I say I don't like asterisks, but I feel like just having a plain vellum page after seeing the printed vellum pages in a lot of the other planners. Of course, I don't have another 7x9 on my desk, but, you know, I don't know. That just, it gives a little bit more of a oomph to me, and I like it a little more. By the way, I have been using my A5 as my main planner the past couple of weeks, in case anybody is curious. I know I was very skeptical. For me, the key is putting checklists in for the week that I'm working, or that it is. Ooh. At some point, I need to say I have to stop saying I can't talk today, because apparently that's something that happens every day. So, technically, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, our first tangent was probably my hair. If you want to get technical about it. But yeah, anyway. So this is the first page, and the first page in here, zoom in, that's a little too much. Okay, good enough. Okay, so this looks very similar to a lot of the pages of other Erin Condren books in that it has the Erin Condren logo, the type of book, in this case it has family organization book, and then it also, in this case, has places to put several names of people in the family versus just one person's name, or typically they have 2 lines. I guess you could put your first and your last name. But this one does not have that. So yeah, that is what the front of the Family Organizer books looks like. I also want to give a disclaimer that while I say in the title that it's a first reactions or first impressions review, I actually did flip through this, but it was weeks ago when I first got it, so I have little to no memory of it. So it's like kind of second impressions, but like first 0.5 impressions. Hopefully you get the idea. I just realized I should probably clarify that in case some sort of memory comes to me while I am flipping through this and I mention it. But as of right now, I have little to no memory of what is included in this book. As the title shows, I'm guessing it has to do, or it's supposed to help a family stay organized, which I know a lot of families will sometimes use a monthly planner for, so it will be interesting to see what kind of benefits this has over other systems. You know, people could also use a weekly planner or a teacher lesson planner. I know that doesn't have the weekends, but it does have, like, the way it's set up, you could easily have a different spot for different people, so we'll see what this looks like. Going in, we do have a notes page right here, as well as a cover page for July, so we don't have that spread at the beginning of the book that we have in a lot of other planners. This one kind of gets straight to the point. Oh, Coco! I mean, she knocked something off a table instead of bringing me a spring, but I'll take it. Now, woo! Okay, that was my bad. I didn't throw the spring correctly. There you go. Go get it. She's like, no. That's okay. You have your spring. All right, so we are going right into July. Usually the Erin Condren books have something for like a year at a glance or something like that after that first like introductory spread. And as we can also see, they also sent me a neutral harmony theme. So my guess is it's also going to be available in colorful harmony. Who knows if it will also be available in color blends or in bloom. So, oh, good point, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. You're wondering if it's July 2022 to June 2023, or will it also have January 2023 to the, I think you're saying, let's see, it looks like it's July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So my guess is that they will also have at least a calendar year version, if not an 18 months version, or an option to add the rest of the year. But this one just has, it is the July to June. Again, when they sent this out, they didn't know exactly what the release date is. So maybe if you buy it, it will end up being like August to July. I don't know exactly what that is going to be. But the book that they sent me is physically July 2022 to June 2023. And we come in here to a very familiar monthly page. This is similar, if not the same, to the one in the life planners. I do not have harmony neutral in a 7x9, but in the A5 version, you can tell that it's pretty, I mean, all the graphical elements are the same. There's a couple things that are like slightly different, but it's mostly just size and slight dimensional things. Hey Shakira, welcome! So My guess, because it is so similar to the A5, is that it is identical to the life planners and the academic planners and all that good stuff as well. And so here is our first new spread. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to grab something. I'm just going to put it under there. Here, let me grab something else. This is what I do when I'm photographing planners, is I will try to make these sides a little bit more even so that they focus better, and hopefully that will help you see it a little bit better, since this one was like, it doesn't have, you know what I mean, it wasn't sitting as close. For anyone who's curious, I have a lip sleeping mask under here and a camera battery. Yeah, that's literally what I had on my desk that was about the right size. Okay, so we have recurring schedule for the month of July, and it looks like this is just Monday through Sunday, and it's just a block, so there's not necessarily an option. Hello, Opie. We get visits from both kitties within the first 15 minutes. Is that a good sign, or is that a bad sign? Or is it just a sign that they're going to want to make a lot of guest appearances? Who knows? And you could decide if that's a good sign or a bad sign yourself. Anyway, so you have that reoccurring schedule section for the month. And then we also have a couple of different sections that you could use for different things. I could see something like this being a good area for a quote. I'm not quite sure what I would use these for. I also personally live on my own and I don't have a family, so I am not necessarily the target for this sort of thing. But I see a lot of planners, so hopefully I have some insight. Opie, are you wanting a spring too? I don't put the springs out on my desk because I don't want the cats to like come and just grab them all. But it also means it takes me a little while to get them out. We have a green one, by the way, if anyone's wondering. I think it literally hit the water bowl. And Opie's like, yeah, I'm not interested. One more. You're like, that didn't hit the floor. It didn't sound like the right noise. All right. Well, Coco went running. So anyway, so these areas, whew, do not really have much. You could put anything you want here, I guess, is what I was trying to say. It doesn't have its structure, but it's not titled. Here, it doesn't specifically say to do, but I'm guessing it's some sort of like a grocery list or a to-do list, or, I mean, some sort of list of something, obviously. But because it doesn't necessarily have something up here pre-filled in, you could decide what that is. This could be good for maybe like tasks that have to get done for the month, but doesn't necessarily matter who gets them done. Or maybe if you have spouses living together, you could like make half of this for like one of them and half for the other. You could use this for a grocery list. All sorts of different things you could do, I guess. We also have a family goals section. Interesting that this doesn't have any sort of check marks on it. I would think a goals area would have some sort of check marks. And then down here, we have habit tracking. And so what I find kind of interesting about this, the habit and the task tracking, is that you'll notice that it has Monday through Sunday, which makes sense, little things that you can check off, and it has a place where you can write whatever the habit or the task is. But initially when I saw this, I thought this was going to be the kind of thing where you could fill in like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or maybe, you know, you have like chores for each of the kids or something like that. But this is only for 1 week. So you couldn't track all of these habits for a whole month. You would have to choose like just one to track for the whole month, and same with tasks. That could work. Maybe there's another way to use this that I'm not thinking of, but that was my initial thought. By the way, when the cats step on the laptop, they immediately get taken off of the desk. Hopefully, eventually they'll learn not to step across the laptop. We'll see. Anyway, let us continue, and maybe this will become clear. So here is a page for stuff about school. Blank page, so you could do pretty much anything you wanted with this. You could write down achievements, you could write down deadlines, due dates, If you are in a school where you have to like bring snacks, or if you just want to keep track of like different things that have to be brought on different days, or you're in contact with the teacher about something, you could take notes there. Make sure you remember it. I'm trying to think. I mean, for me and my family, I was homeschooled for a long time, but we had a lot of other things that were going on, like classes, which granted would go in the schedule. But when we were like kindergarten age, we were in a co-op program where parents would have to go in a certain number of days a month to help out. So it might be cool to list those here in addition to putting them on the calendar. 𝗚𝗏 also said you could also use that to record a child doing something like making the bread, brushing the teeth, etc. Each dot could be a different color. Oh, I think, are you talking about this here? That's a good idea. Or you could do it here. I mean, with the lines, you could make your own habit tracker sort of thing. And that is one thing that we don't necessarily talk about for those of us who do use printed planners, is there is a lot of cool stuff in the bullet journal side of the planning community. And even though it's kind of a different name, I kind of see us as two sides of the same community, because we are planning in some way, shape, or form in a paper book. You have the digital side, of course, as well, and to me that is a little different because it is digital and you have some other stuff going on with it. So, but it's kind of, it's like an intersection. So you have like paper planners, and you have digital, and then or paper and digital. It's like a Punnett square, paper and digital. And then you have like pre-printed planner, or like pre-designed planner, or like bullet journal / empty slate, if that makes sense. But because the bullet journal side of things does have a lot of cool stuff with a lot of different spreads, you can get a lot of inspiration. And if you're not sure where to go for that, check Pinterest. I don't spend too much time on Pinterest, but let me tell you, when I do go there, I get so many ideas, You can also see here that we have dates to remember and memories or milestones. So another place that you could put general milestones, not necessarily just school stuff. A lot of different stuff that you could put here. Dates to remember, I mean, obviously the classic one is like birthdays, or when you have to bring a snack to school, or if your kid is going on a field trip, or I don't know, doctor's or dentist appointments. Basically, like, here are all the dates, in addition to on that monthly page. Or instead of, or you use that for something else, because even if you get a printed planner, no one said you have to use it exactly the way intended. Ooh, 𝗚𝗏, I like the idea that it could also be used for parents' date nights. Here we can see a list of extracurriculars, or not a list, but a page for extracurriculars. And right over where my black hole kitty is stepping, there's a space for miles and achievements and memories. So I'm sorry, you can come over here. I'm not going to actually take you off the desk. Excuse the cat hair. Milestones or achievements and memories. Memories, I kind of wish they hadn't done that as lines. Maybe a dot grid would have been better. That way you still have something to write on if you'd like to write on. But I could see it being really cute to do this kind of as a collage, or letting a kid draw or something like that. I think that would be so fun to look back at. Oh my God, 𝗚𝗏, no, I'm definitely not giving them a stamp pad. They make enough marks on stuff on my desk just from having water on their paws. And then it looks like we have some blank pages here for general notes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 note pages. And then it looks like the days are long, but the years are short. Favorites this month. So this is kind of like, I guess, end of the month stuff in some ways. Funny things said. Best memory from this month. Special moment I will remember. And this is kind of the thing that I was thinking with that last one. Like the memories or whatever. I mean, you kind of have some of that sort of thing. Like, these are kind of memories. And then here's another memories or milestone pages. So I kind of wish this wasn't lines, but, you know, for what it is, again, I'm not the target audience of this. So if you are a little bit more of the target audience, having, you know, a family with kids, or, you know, just essentially don't live alone, let me know. how you would use this and kind of how you would separate some of these very similar categories. You could also take something like this if you don't need the more memories and milestones area and just cover it up with whiteout and use it as an extra notes page. There's nothing saying you can't do that. Ooh, Ackman, that's an interesting idea. Talking about the coloring pages that Erin Condren used to put in the planners and saying they should put some in this planner so you could tear it out and let the kids have some. Interesting. Okay, I like this. It's like little kitty tail, but not actually in the way. Hello, Sharon. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for hopping on for a couple minutes. Oh, okay, so the lines could be anecdotal jottings to see the bigger page being a collage of photos printed from my Canon Ivy printer. Ooh, I like that idea. Kind of using this, the first one, as like a way to like kind of take notes as it's happening, and then kind of design this a little bit more like a scrapbook or something that's intended to be looked back at. I like that idea. And it looks like we have one more note page before going into the next month. I'm guessing each month is going to be pretty similar, but let's just flip through August to see if there are any differences each month. As with all the Erin Condren planners, is going to have slightly different colors, and because this one is considered a neutral planner, there are going to be minimal graphical elements. So we have the same reoccurring schedule, habit tracking, task tracking, family goals. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything different. And I will also mention that, you know, I mentioned with the other one, you know, you could white out the headers. You could do that with any of these that don't necessarily apply to you. So there definitely are some different categories that are specifically geared towards kids. Maybe you don't have kids that are in school quite yet, so you could use whiteout to go over that and either use it as an extra note page, or you could, you know, if you have a baby that's not in school yet, you could make, you know, have more notes about their development, because I know that with babies, while there is a wide range of normal development, it also is important, both from like a proud parent point of view, but also to make sure nothing wrong is going on, to kind of track when things are happening and make notes and all that good stuff. So, you know, lots of different places that you could repurpose really easily. Yep, it's pretty much the same thing. I feel like I don't have anything to say because, I mean, every month is kind of the same thing, but let me go ahead and jump to the end and we can see if there is anything at the end of what's going on. I mean, I'm just, because of the tabs, I'm kind of going month by month, but the colors really shouldn't be a surprise at this point. Shakira, you're saying, I just hope people are as keen on family memory keeping as you are. I will hate to get attached to this, like the teacher binder folks, and then end up getting tossed aside. Yeah, hopefully it will be really cool. Now, what's kind of interesting is they're advertising it as a family organizer book, not necessarily as like a family memory book. So, but there are definitely a lot of places to write down memories. Like, it's kind of, in a lot of ways, it's a monthly planner plus designed at families, since it has like the monthly pages and it has some note pages, but it also has some other stuff, not really a weekly page, but it has, you know, a bunch of things, specific sections for specific tracking or memories or things like that. So it will be interesting to see exactly how it ends up being, it'll be interesting to see exactly how it ends up being promoted and what kinds of things Erin Condren draws attention to, or examples that they've shown. As I mentioned earlier, I might have gotten an email about this going into more information, but I don't remember it. So I don't remember if there was anything specific that they were trying to highlight or anything like that. So it will be really cool to see kind of how the promotion and how the mock spreads, would it be technical? I mean, this is a spread, but I'm not sure if I'd necessarily call this a spread in like the traditional planning sense. But in the bullet journal world, like basically a spread is just any 2 pages. So I guess in that case it is a spread. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the promotional stuff looks like and then what people are actually doing with it. Very, very exciting. And for somebody who is not the target audience for this, I know I am trying to brainstorm, what could you do with different things? What could you use it for? But because I am not actually in a position where this would be super helpful for me, I could be missing something super obvious. So May, June, as I mentioned earlier, the one they sent me was July 2022 to June 2023. But I would be highly surprised if they don't have other options like a calendar year or like an 18-month or at least like calendar year plus a couple months at the end of this year. But again, because it's not being released until the 26th, July 26th, we don't know exactly what those order options will be. It also could be a case where they are going to release the they're going to release the calendar year version of this at a slightly later time because it is a few months until 2023 starts. You think there's a special demographic they're looking for, Shakira? Interesting. Ackman saying an Erin Condren notebook might give you more room to keep a journal, memory keeper, and room for pictures than one like this organizer. I will say it is very handy to have everything in one place, and you could definitely use the note pages and a lot of the other places in this book for more memory things or for more organization, notes things like that, depending on what you prefer to do. I mean, there are some people, when they talk about keeping a journal, they're talking about writing in a journal. For some people, if they're more visual, they'll draw in a journal. Some people will scrapbook their journal. Some people will do a combination of both. It really just depends on who the person is. And so everybody who uses this is going to take, you know, these pre-organized sections, especially the ones that don't necessarily have any headers on them, and do whatever they want. Ackman, like no one uses more than one planner in their life. A lot. Okay, technically I use more than one planner, but I don't I use a planner and a notebook, and then I have 2 planners I'm currently swapping back in between for different weeks, mostly just because I have 2 and it's just like whatever I want for that week. But I also know I'm weird. Some people also have 4 planners that they use on a regular basis. That's not me. I can barely keep track of the one in the notebook. But that mostly I have to say I use the notebook because I switch back and forth between 2 different planners, and I don't want to keep stuff in one planner that is vital. So like I don't want to keep stuff in my A5 and then if it's a week where I'm using my 7x9, have to keep my A5 around. Even though the notebook is an A5, it's a much thinner A5 and it's easier to keep around. And you know, have it as the extra thing, just a comparison. Planner, notebook. So that's my current system on top of Google Calendar, because I've mentioned that I have a like kind of a paper digital hybrid version. Ooh, bunny. Sorry, that's the ADHD. Which probably is also why I have a hard time keeping to one planner. I have a hard time focusing on multiple planners at the same time, but because I have ADHD, I have a hard time just using one planner for the whole year. So, yay for me! That's okay. Okay, interesting here. So we have more memories and milestones, and we have this in the June color. And then we're going into that purple color, which is August's color, but we're skipping July. Interesting. Ooh, Shakira, you have 3 at the moment. Your teacher planner, your horizontal ring inserts for devotions, and the compact vertical for your on-the-go to-do lists. Okay, thank you for breaking that down for us. That's very helpful. I personally use my planner and notebook mostly at home, either at my desk, or lately I've been going outside first thing in the morning and like drinking my coffee and sometimes eating my breakfast. And so sometimes I'll bring my planner out there with me, and sometimes I'll bring my Switch and just veg out for a little bit while I'm drinking my coffee. So it's not always productive, and planners don't always come out. But for the most part, my planner is used at home, and I hold up my phone, but it's this camera right here. I use Google Calendar to keep track of like my monthly, like the stuff you'd put on a monthly spread. I use Google Calendar for that. And then I also use the reminder apps on my iPhone for like shopping lists a lot of times. And then also as for like reminders. So if I need to be reminded every month to, well, let's see, I have a tendency to forget to pay rent. So it pops up every month and it will stay there until I hit the little complete button. That way I actually do it. So, all right. And it looks like here we have the end of the book. So we have the Heritage and Awareness Observances. And it looks like they have 2022 up here and then 2023 down here. The fact that they have it for 18 months makes me think that there probably will be an 18-month version of this available. I could be wrong, because I think they do have this available. I think they have this, the ones, I don't remember if it's in the life planner, but I'm pretty sure it's in the academic planner and the teacher lesson planner. Here, I'm gonna go like look it up in my life planner. I know I used to like have a stack of planners right at my desk, and I still technically do. It's just that they're back there now in a bin, because I'm trying to figure out how to keep them handy without having them in the way of everything. I'm not seeing it in the compact vertical, at least. It might be in the 7x9. But I'm pretty sure it's in the academic. I'm like 99.9% sure that's in the academic. So anyway, my guess is that they just use the same page. Hopefully it means that you'll have an 18-month option if you want. And then what I also found kind of interesting, because this is a July 2022 to June 2023 version, they start the next year calendar in 2024, and they don't have a calendar at the very beginning. So there are 6 months in this particular planner that are not represented anywhere. Nothing particularly bad, just interesting to note. I have to say that obviously someone who's going to use something like this does prefer paper planners, but chances are they'll be at least tech savvy enough to order it online, so they can probably at least look up the other 6 months online if they have to. Just saying. Let's see, we have the ending page here, Erin Condren information, and then it looks like we have some stickers over here. So these stickers are white with gold foil, and it's kind of hard to see the cut lines. Let's see if I can focus that a little better. Nope, I can't. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see, but these are circles. Oh no, they're like little teardrop stickers. And then these are circles. These are like little boxes that you can put in the monthly page for appointments or things like that. So that's what this sheet is. Yes, Ackman, I'm pretty sure they've had these stickers in another planner before. Same with these. These, again, a little bit hard to see, but these are rose gold. We have some asterisk circles. Today, this week, rescheduled, canceled, to-dos. We have a bunch of habit trackers. So these are just for 1 week. Again, that's kind of interesting because as a choice to include. Ooh, Sharon, thank you. They were in last year's neutral. This is an interesting choice to include in a planner that is specifically geared towards monthly tracking. So in theory, if you wanted to track something for a month, you would need 4 or maybe 5 of these, depending on how many weeks were in the month. And then here, I'm not sure if you can see the cut lines super well, but These at 𝗬𝗁 𝗁𝗂𝗃 are not white stickers. They are plain stickers though. I'm hoping you can see these. So these are little rectangles and then little circles. So you could color code with these if you wanted, or you could just put some color in there for funsies. And it looks like we have 3 more colors, so 6 colors in total. And these are the same little rectangles. Here, let me just pull one up so since the cut lines are very hard to see. I know why they did it this way, because they can be a lot more space efficient with the stickers, which means they can get more on the page, but for the purpose of showing it in a video is a little bit frustrating because it is hard to show. So those are those, and then I will grab one of the circle ones. And I think since those are so small, I'm actually going to grab my little spatula tool. And I know, I forget who it was, but someone mentioned a while back, I think it was my last plan with me, that they wanted one of the little spatulas I had. And I mentioned that it came from my silhouette. I can't find it right now, actually. So this is half tangent, but it is planner related. I found this at the Dollar Tree a couple weeks ago. And I thought, huh, it's meant for, you know, like silhouette or, you know, cutting machine stuff. Let's give it a try. In my experience, it's a little big and chunky for stickers. Like sometimes you can kind of get it in there, but I think it's a little big. I don't think it has like a small enough point on the end to make it as functional as I would like. So, I mean, for $1.25, it's not expensive to try, but it's not a replacement for the smaller ones that you see coming with silhouette cutting machines. I'm sure Cricut has an equivalent. I could rant about Cricut, but the short version is if you're looking to get a cutting machine, get a silhouette, because it has a lot more functions, and once you get past the very beginner stage, you'll thank yourself. So here's what the dots look like. Yeah, tweezers might be better. My tweezers that I keep in my desk aren't really great for stickers. I keep them more, honestly, I don't know why I keep the tweezers, because the rest of the stuff I keep in that section is more for nails, and I don't really use the tweezers, but I have a pair of tweezers that are more crafting tweezers. They just live on my crafting desk. And I know that a lot of people would count like planners and decorating planners as crafting, but a lot of the stuff I do on my crafting desk is more like resin crafting and stuff that gets messy. So paper crafting tends to stay at my work desk, and messy crafting tends to stay on my crafting table. And it looks like this is the end of the book. We have a black folder here. Pretty darn simple. I have to say, especially because they have a lot of, because they have a lot of school related stuff here, it's an interesting, having a smaller than like 8.5 by 11 folder, or I forget what the paper size is called. Outside of the US, I suck at the, you know, sizes outside of the US, but I know, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit bigger than our 8.5 by 11. And my point is that if kids are going to bring stuff home from school, it's probably going to be bigger than this. So there's going to be a lot of folding to put in here. But you can put stickers in here and stuff like that. Folder here, and then you have the back of the interchangeable cover. Very, very cute. Now this is more of just a nitpick, but because the interchangeable covers have transparency right here, you can see the black, and because this cover very much is not black, it pokes out. A4, thank you, Shakira. That sounds about right. I think it's A4. I could actually probably check fairly easily because the holographic laminate I get for my 2 and 3 inch stickers comes in, I believe it's A4, and I have to cut it down, but I have to cut it down anyway because I don't want it. It needs to be a little bit smaller than 8.5 by 11. So even if I got it at 8.5 by 11, I'd have to cut it down. But since it's right here, let me double check. for anybody who's curious, this is the holographic film I get, and it's A4 size, which is 210 by 297 millimeters, and it's just slightly bigger than 8.5 by 11. And I pre-trim it down so I don't have to do it when I'm laminating stickers, because that laminate's so thin it's already a little hard to work with. It's adhesive laminate, as you can probably tell. It's not the kind you have to put through a laminator, because I don't have a laminator. So that is the family organizer book that we've talked about. I know you guys have been leaving comments as we've been talking about it, as you know, we've gone through. But now that we've seen the whole thing, what do you guys think? And is this something that you feel like you would find useful for your family? As I've mentioned, unless you count my 2 cats, I live alone. And as much as I love my cats, I think this is a little bit too much space for memory keeping for Coco and Opal. I love them dearly, but yeah, a little bit too much. So I finally officially got confirmation from the organization that I want to donate my extra Erin Condren PR to. It's called Northwest Children's Outreach. I've mentioned them a couple times, but they're, I guess they'd be a charity, but like, you know, they're a place in the area that collects donations of like new or slightly new clothes and toys and school supplies and like stuff for kids. And the idea is that if parents can't afford something nice for their kids for like a birthday or just for back to school and stuff like that, that they could go there, and that way the kids aren't getting secondhand everything, or at least super used secondhand stuff. I mean, I was fortunate that my family could afford everything, but my parents have always been fairly frugal, and so like my mom would be like, well, you know, get the 10-cent notebooks that are on sale versus the $3 notebook. And so like to me, like getting the $3 or the $5 notebook, like that was a splurge. And so I was lucky that I was never actually bullied for it, but I definitely sometimes felt like the other kids had like better stuff than me. So with as fortunate as I was, like, I don't feel like it's a huge jump for me to like attempt to put myself in the shoes of kids whose families really can't afford stuff. And because Erin Condren is so kind and sends me more PR that I can actually use, I decided that that is a great place that I want to donate it to so that it can get used. But I know I've mentioned them a couple times. They're officially on their website saying they're only accepting clothes right now. So I had to message them and ask them, like, is this something you're actually accepting? Because if not, I'll do some research and find somewhere else for it. Yeah, I'm really excited. So I'm thinking about actually filming a video about me doing that. I have to ask them if they'll let me film, and then it actually has to get edited and stuff like that. But I was thinking that it might be kind of nice to have a couple of videos like in reserve for days that I can't stream for one reason or another. For instance, I didn't stream on Thursday last week because of the internet. And then this Thursday I can't stream because I am I'm going to like a business workshop webinar thing from the Financial Diet. Excellent channel, by the way, if you're looking for any like financial advice. It's very like centered. It really takes into account like what actually is going on today and not what the world was like 10 or 20 years ago. So anyway, I find that very interesting. And so anyway, I'm doing that on Thursday during the normal time for streaming. And so I'm not streaming this Thursday. So in theory, in the future, if I can have some pre-edited videos put together, my thought is that at least on those days, I'd be able to give you guys content, even if that content is not a live stream. So wish me luck. I'm still in the process of doing that. I filmed one video the other day. I'm not sure how long it will take that to be edited because I don't like editing, so I have to be in the right mood to do it. But that is a hope for the future. I am not seeing any questions about the Family Organizer book in the chat for now. I'm trying to think if there is anything else I want to talk about before I let you guys go. I mean, not that it's really planner related, but I'm going to be going to Sally's after this to get a couple more hair dye things to finish up my hair. I could go into the dichotomy of what happened, but part of it is just I used the wrong product, and part of it was that I just like went a little conservative on trying to put blonde in the top, and it ended up looking weird. I don't think I mentioned the price, and I'm not sure if I have it, so let me go ahead and see if that is something I have. I guess while I am looking at my email for this, I will mention that the exact verbiage Erin Condren used is that the ETA for the Family Organizer book release is the 26th of July. So it is entirely possible that that it will get delayed a little bit, a little bit more. Hopefully not, but they did not say definitely. They said ETA. There are two emails I wanted to check, but the first one that I wanted to check didn't have it, so now I'm going to check the other one. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be $40 USD. Hope that answered. Thank you for taking a minute while I looked. Sharon, good night. Thank you for dropping by. I think I'm actually going to follow in Sharon's lead and head out myself. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are on the replay squad, or if you were here live and have any questions after I'm done, feel free to leave those in the comments. I will not pretend I'm an expert, but I'll do my best to answer them. And if I don't know the answer, I can reach out to Erin Condren. As always, thank you so much for being here. I stream most Mondays and Thursdays, not this Thursday, but most Mondays and Thursdays, usually at 4 p.m. Pacific. Not today, but usually. This week is just all messed up. And so I hope to see you again for another planner stream next time. Have a great rest of your day / night / evening / whatever it is, everybody. Bye.